Hello, my name is Aaron Turner, and I am the percussion instructor at Colorado State University in Pueblo. Today, I'd like to show you a brief introduction on how to play jazz on mallet instruments. Here, of course, I'm going to use my marimba in my studio, but you could also use vibraphone, which is really the most popular mallet instrument for jazz, or xylophone. Who's to say you couldn't use a xylophone either? Use whatever you have to practice on, and I think you'll enjoy this. So the biggest takeaway from this video, what I want you to really remember is using thirds and sevenths of chords. So the example I want to use today is Autumn Leaves, which is a very famous jazz standard. So the first chord in our example is a C minor seventh. So they have these notes: C, E flat, G, B flat. And I'll play it together. Now, when I'm playing, I could certainly play all those notes. I could play them in that order, 1, 3, 5, 7. First, third, 5, 7. However, there's a better way. So to simplify things, I can get rid of these two mallets, just play with either my left hand, or it might even be easier just to use one mallet in each hand. And by the way, there are two great players that just come to mind, Lionel Hampton and Milt Jackson. Check out those players, Milt Jackson and Lionel Hampton. A little bit older styles, but they got away with a lot of great things, great musical ideas with just two mallets. So highly encourage you to check them out. And what I can do, instead of doing 1, 3, 5, 7, I can just play the third and seventh of the chord. In this case, the E flat and the B flat. So 1, 3, 5, 7. I just need to play the third and the seventh. I can put either note on the bottom. I can put the 7 on the bottom, like B flat and then E flat, or I can put E flat on the bottom and then B flat on top. Same thing, or same idea. So the reason that this works is because we have our guitar friends and our piano friends, maybe even have guitar, mallet instrument, and piano in a jazz combo or jazz ensemble. Maybe it's helpful. Not everybody needs to play every note. So let's make it easier. We can just play the third and seventh over here in the mallet instruments, and it'll sound great. Our bass player friend can take care of the root. So we've got really everything covered that we need to. As we get better, we can of course add more notes depending on the style and depending on what you want the piece to actually sound like. So I'll give you an example of the first few measures of Autumn Leaves again. So we go from seventh and third of the C minor seventh, so it'd be B flat and E flat. This becomes, now for the F dominant chord, it would sound like F, A, C, E flat, or if I play them all together, right, that sound. I can just play the third and the seventh. That's so fun, right? So now we've got 7 and 3 becomes 3 and 7. Notice I'm not working very hard. I'm just doing this. My right hand didn't even move. And hopefully you can see that on the packet I gave you too, the handout. If you don't have that, you might want to pause this and then get the handout so you can visually see what I'm playing. 7 and 3 becomes the third and seventh. If I keep going with the chord progression, it actually just keeps working that way. So 7, 3, 3, 7 becomes 7 and 3 of the B flat major, becomes the third and seventh of the E flat major. So sound like. I just keep flip-flopping. My left hand's playing 7, 3, 7, 3. My right hand's playing 3, 7, 3, 7. It takes a little getting used to not thinking of everything like 1, 3, 5, 7, but thinking of doing things out of order, putting the notes out of order. It's actually more comfortable for me now to do that just because I've trained myself. But if you need to, whether it's with 2 mallets or 4 mallets, go back to just doing root position, 1, 3, 5, 7, which becomes 1, 3, 5, 7, B flat major, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. I see that's a great way to practice. I wouldn't actually perform that way though. I would just play this. Right? Because everything's so much smoother instead of kind of hopping around from chord to chord. So the third and the seventh, I think, are really the key to get started with comping on your instrument. As you feel more comfortable, of course, we can add the root and the fifth as well. You can also add other notes on top like 9s, 11s, 13s, but for now, let's keep it simple. So I could play C minor 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, or I can play 7, 3, 5, 1. Notice they sound similar because they're the same notes, but I put the order of the notes in a different place. But this will help me avoid the choppiness of going with always putting the root in the bottom. Let the bass player do that for you, right? You don't need to worry about it. And then now I can have better voice leading. So I can do C minor 7 with the 7 on the bottom, and then F7 or F dominant with the A on the bottom or the third on the bottom, B flat major 7 with the 7th on the bottom, and then E flat major with the third or the G in the bottom. Right? So it would sound like this. So, but remember, start slowly. Get really used to just doing the 7 and the third, and then you can add the 5 and the 1. Notice what I'm playing, and the sheet should help you out with that as well. The 5 becomes the 1, so the 5 in the C minor 7 is the G, which actually becomes the 1 and the F. Or the 1 in the C minor 7, the C up here, in this mallet, becomes the 5 in the F dominant chord. It didn't even move, right? So it's not working very hard. But you can see that this really helps connect the chords together. Another thing that I find very helpful is to either sing and or play the melody. I'll play it for you. Maybe you don't want to hear me sing. So if I play the melody, I'll just play the melody first. So just the first few measures there. But now I'll add in my left hand the third and the 7th, and I'll just keep changing, just like I've shown you before, but this time we'll have the melody with it. And I can just add, there I did cheat a little bit. I have a root, a fifth, a root, and then the third. But that's okay, right? So, but you can see I'm just doing the 7ths and 3rds. I can also do the melody with my right hand and then do the 7, 3, 5, 1. And I keep reversing those. So let's try that. So that's kind of fun. I'm just playing the chords. I'm just playing the melodies. I was playing the root, but notice the root was not on the bottom. I'm hoping my bass player will cover those for me. You can add that if you want. Like I just played a little bit here. Right? So you can say I put the root there, and then I played the chords up here. So that is something you can also do. You can almost like that stride piano I used to hear in earlier jazz. That might be getting a little ahead of ourselves. So, but really, you can do so much if you just do the 3rd and the 7th. So I'd like to thank you for watching this short video. I hope it helps. I know when somebody pointed this out to me years ago that I thought, oh, you know, I can actually play jazz on the mallet instruments. And so if you're just sitting in jazz band doing nothing because you're a great set player, but maybe you've got a lot of great set players at your school, hop on over to a mallet instrument and give it a try. Just remember to try it slowly, simply, eventually build on what you learn, and then you can find that you will be able to do it. Thanks so much again.